Darklove acting today. You should find yourselves a dancing ghost. Your dancing ghost can be used for dancing at any opportunity. There was an entire ghost song just for it, but you know, whatever you like. There are love hearts for the sweetness of Darklove. There was also fluff and stickers and feathers. These are for decorating yourself or your loved ones with. I can recommend the fluff if you've got a beard. It's kind of like Velcro, it's really cool. You should have as well, those of you that were in time, your instruments, which yes, you can use at any point in your life. You just have to give those ones back, otherwise my kids get upset. This is when you give it up one more time for the awesome triangle music you just heard. Woo! I cannot promise as high a body count as there, but I can promise a lot more sex, just so you know. So for those with a fragile disposition, I think you can probably still get a stiff drink at the bar if you need. Darklove is gonna get you. So you just can't get big finish with your instruments. Away. Woo! See, it's great. I can start my show like this. So welcome to Darklove. I'm going to put this mic to one side and just use it for singing because it's just such a beautiful acoustic in here. My name is Justine, for those of you who don't know. I shall be your storyteller and poetess and singer, whatever else, lyricist. I don't know the name for someone that writes lyricist, but lyricist. For this evening, with stories and tales and songs and poems all about the darker side of love. And you do have to say it like that. So say it with me, lovers and gentlemen. Love. Love. Do better than that. Ready? Love. Beautiful. So what is Darklove? Well, you see, when I'm in poetic mood, I say Darklove is love bizarre and love gone wrong, and love that sings a darker songs. Or for those of you less poetic, sex, violence, death, zombies, and vampires. Which, you know, it's pretty much the same thing, but sometimes you just like it to be direct, don't you? So, we are going to start off this evening with one of my favourite stories. This is a story that was given to me by a storyteller who goes by the name of Baden Prince. And Baden Prince, his people are from Antigua. And we figured that since his people were from Antigua and my people were from St. Lucia, it was only a couple of islands over, I could probably tell this tale. It goes like this. Once upon a time, in the village of Bolans in Antigua, there lived a farmer, Farmer Joe. And he had a beautiful wife and one very beautiful daughter. She was beautiful of face, she was beautiful of body, but she was not beautiful of mind. And a beautiful woman without a beautiful mind was like a Kinder Egg without a surprise. Nonetheless, Bacon tells me that the young men of Boland's village were notoriously shallow. They didn't care what she was like inside, they just liked the beautiful bit. So, they would go to Farmer Joe's house and they would try to woo her. I mean, not woo in the ghost sense, you know, the woo. Or it could be woo in the ghost. Maybe they would have more success if they were woo in the ghost sense. But I also think wooing is a lost art, isn't it? We sort of do like relationships and we do situationships now and divorces and marriages. Just if you want to take up a hobby, I would recommend it. Ghost or otherwise. Anyway, these suitors, they would go into Farmer Joe's parlour and they would try to woo this woman. They would say, oh, I will make your life so wonderful. I will give you everything you could ever possibly need. I will buy you fine houses and fine clothes. And she would sit there, not really paying attention. As soon as they were out the door, oh my God, did you see him? He's got ears sticking out. He looks like a car going down the road with his doors out. I can't possibly marry him. But she composes herself again for the next one. The next one will come in and say, oh, I haven't paid you very well in my job. I have much money. I will be able to provide for you. You will never want for anything. And she would sit there. As soon as he's gone, oh my God, did you see the size of his head? You imagine being in there in a baby? I'm not pushing that thing out. I cannot marry him. And so it went on. They were too tall, too short, too thin, too fat, too rich, too poor, until poor Farmer Joe thought he was never going to get rid of this harridan of a girl. Until one day, there came down the drive to the farm a car. And not just any car. This car was a powder blue Cadillac. Had those two little white fins on the back. Had a bonnet that went on like an aircraft carrier, little Harriers jumping off the end. And he pulls up in front of the farm. With Farmer Joe like this, and his wife like this, and his daughter like this. And this man steps out. Lovelies and gentle humans, this was no Tesco man. This was no Aldi man. No Asda Smart Price tea. This was a Waitrose man. This was all John Lewis. He had this white linen suit wrapped around him like a shameless woman at a club. He had a white fedora hat just like so. He got skin so sweet like caramel, I just want to lick it off. Sorry, Papa. Well, our girl, she takes one look at him, swims flat on the floor. Now that is another lost art. You don't see women swimming or men swimming. Another hobby you could take up. Go home and learn to swim. Anyway, she swims flat on the floor. Her mother drags her out to the parlour. And before you can say, indecent and unreasonable haste. Say it with me, people.
Indecent and unreasonable haste.
The marriage contract is signed. Now, this means that in a few weeks' time, in the village of Bowlands, in the village hall, the old people of Bowlands are waiting. It is the day of the wedding, and the bride and groom, they're about to arrive, and oh, it's so beautiful in there. There is rice and meat and patties and cheese and bread. There is swags and swathes and favours. Looks like Kirsty Allsop's thrown up in there. The reason the old people of Bowlands are so excited about this wedding is because they don't know what the young men of Bowlands know. Because you can imagine that if for years you've been trying to woo this girl and then suddenly this stranger from out of town comes in, sweeps her off her feet, well, they're down the bar and they're going, well, who is he? Who is people? Where's he come from? And they're talking over their work, over their labouring, saying, we need to find out. We should do something. I can't believe he's just come in and taken them. So, just before the wedding, they sort of hide outside Farmer Joe's house. When your man is there, he's having his dinner with Farmer Joe and his bride to his in-laws, his bride to him. And all the young men are hiding outside, and they wait till he gets in that Cadillac. And he takes off down the drive, and they follow him down the drive like this. It's kind of a bit Scooby-Doo, you can imagine it, right? I've never known in this story how the men on foot keep up with the man in the car. But anyway, apparently they do. Maybe they're shallow and fast. Anyway, the car drives out. It's heading towards the town. The young men think, now town, until explain to them. But no. The car stops beside a field full of corn and yams. And all the young men hide behind them, and trees and they go around him. And as a man gets out, he shuts the car door. And he starts to sing. Disinga, ru-dum-dum. Takes off his fedora hat. Disinga, ru-dum-dum. With all the young men watching in the bushes, he takes off his white jacket. Disinga, ru-dum-dum. He takes off his linen trousers. Disinga, ru-dum-dum. He strips down, naked as the day he was born, and then suddenly he's going down on all fours, and his hands are turned into hoops, and his face is covered in hair, and there's a snout, and there's this, and he's turned it into a wild boar, and that wild boar runs into that field of yams and corn, and it eats everything, and it runs off into the distance. So, on the wedding day, when the bride and the groom And you know what they sing, ladies and gentlemen? Sing it with me. Disinga, ku-dum-dum. You can't help it. Takes us to our hat. Disinga, ku-dum-dum. Can't help it. Takes off that little jacket. Disinga, ku-dum-dum. Can't help it. Takes off those trousers. Disinga, ku-dum-dum. And naked as the day was born, he turns into that wild boar, and he's running through that ready feast, and there's rice and meat and patties and bread and cheese frying. He rips down those sways and those swags, and those young men are ready. They have come with their tamarind whips, and they whip that boar, and they whip him, and they whip him, and he runs out to the village hall, and on that road towards the town he is never seen or heard from again. And as for Farmer Joe, and his wife, and his daughter, a shame. It's too much. So that night they too pack up all of their belongings and they head out on that same road where they too are never seen or heard from again. And so here ends my tale. Thank you very much. Okay. I always like to think with that story that somewhere down the line there's a sequel. And maybe this woman, beautiful of body but not beautiful of mind, and a wild boar, kind of a good fit, you know. I just think they kind of ended up together. Okay, so this is your little ghost song. Now I should say, in order to demonstrate how to dance the little ghost, I could do with 2 volunteers to come dance my little ghosts up here. Who's feeling Gordon, up here. It's alright, I don't have to know your name for distance the ghosts, which is very important. Hayden, that one's yours, and that switches on as a flashing light. There you go. So these 2 gentlemen are going to ably demonstrate to you how to dance a ghost. And you all have ghosts in your activity pack, so I'm going to be telling you if you can do it. I can see ghosts up the back. I'm going to know if you're not doing it, you know. That's why the house goes right. This is Little Ghost by the lovely White Stripes. Little ghost, what I'm scared of the most. What you scare me of